Hey artists, today we're going to draw and paint this snake. Make sure you have a pencil, an eraser, a Sharpie, watercolor paper, watercolor paints, a glass of water, paintbrushes, and a paper towel. It's important to have the correct supplies for this style of painting, especially the watercolor paper and the Sharpie. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is grab our pencils, and we're going to start with the snake's head. So we'll start about here, close to the middle of the paper, and make shape like this, and then we'll go from here, start curving around all the way down, stop about here, and then from this side let's finish drawing in the face, the curved line, and up like this. Okay, you can draw in two eyes. 1, 2, and then 2 little highlights in each eye, little nose holes like this, and then we'll start about here from the mouth and follow this same line down. We want to keep it kind of the same width across, down, and we'll stop about here. Let's start filling in this yellow part of the belly. So start about here, and again follow the same line. We want to kind of keep it close to the same width, maybe getting a little wider here, and then narrower here to where we're going to make a point and pull that back. So we have the yellow part of the belly. You can draw lines across here, just like this. Okay, and then let's finish the back of the snake. Go around and then curve back to itself like that. From here, go around and connect to that point. I may need to make this just a little bit thicker. Oops. So it kind of follows the same size. Okay. We're going to draw the end of the tail. So just a line down. We want to make the line look like it's following this line but behind the snake. And then the same for down here, and then to a point. Okay. Let's add the snake's tongue. So just a line like this with a little V shape, like that. All right, then you can add some spots to your snake, or whatever pattern you want to do. I did spots, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for this one. Okay. All right, I think we have our snake all sketched out, so we're going to put our pencils down and grab our Sharpies. We can go around all those pencil marks we just made, and you can make some of these outside lines a little bit thicker and these inside lines, like these belly lines, a little thinner. And then when we're done with that, we'll go ahead and move to our next step. All right, I think I'm all done with my Sharpie, so I'm going to go ahead and take my eraser and erase any pencil marks that I can still see. All right, next thing we're gonna do is grab our paper towels and our paintbrushes, and we'll go ahead and start painting. We're gonna start with a wet brush and kind of wet the face of the snake a little bit. We wanna avoid the eyes, especially the white parts of the eyes, so we don't want paint to go in there. So I'm just making a little damp, and then we're gonna grab our green color, and we're gonna start going around the edges. This green is a little different than the last snake. Let me grab this color. This is more the green that I used before. Go around the edges and start filling into the middle, so it should be lighter on the face and darker around the edges. You can see there's some yellow on my snake over here. We'll do that later. For right now, we're just doing some green. So we're gonna start going down the body then. Whoops, dropping all my stuff today. So then we're gonna make it darker on the sides and lighter in the middle. And then we want it darker under here, as there'll be a shadow. We're just going to make sure that blends nicely. You can see I'm kind of moving all around, adding some dark in different places. But we're just going to keep working our way down through the snake here. And darkness on either side. Especially down here at the bottom is a good place for darker shadows. And you can also see I'm not going in any of the spots, as we're going to go back in with the orange for the spots, or whatever color you want to color them. I went with orange for mine. All right, right back here behind the front part of the snake, this is going to be a shadow, so we want it darker right in here and right here. So I'm adding a little more green there. And again, just kind of blending it out with some water. Okay, I think I'm done with my green. So I'm going to rinse my brush, and we're going to go ahead and do the tongue. So I grabbed some pink color, and I just went along the tongue. We want it darker up here, so I'm putting a little extra paint up there and then kind of blending it out like that. Okay. Now maybe our snake is just a tiny bit drier, so we're going to go ahead with our orange and do those spots. So just like with the green, we want it darker along the sides, so here, and then kind of just blend it out into the rest of the spot. So let's just do that, and then we'll take our water and just kind of blend that out. Now if your green is still too wet and your orange starts going into your snake, you can just wait a little bit for your green to dry, and then this won't fade into your other colors. But I'm just going to keep going along my snake here on these dots, these spots, and filling those in and letting them kind of fade out with the water. If you want a watercolor set similar to mine, I really like this one. You can check out the link in the description. There's also other products that I use for my art, but you can use whatever color or kind of paint you want. The watercolor paper, everything is linked in the description if you're interested. I'm still filling in these spots. And again, we want it darker back in here, so I'm going to go all along this line of this spot. All right, 2 more spots. Also, if you want to show me what you painted, I'd love for you to tag me on Instagram or even Facebook, and I'll try to check it out. I love seeing what everybody else paints. All right, I think we're done with our orange, so I'm going to take my water again, and I'm going to start filling in this belly of the snake with some water. Then we're going to take our yellow color, or whatever color you choose, and we're going to fill that in. I want it darker down in here and down across the belly here. So I'm going to start with those spots. Just fill that in and then kind of drag it over to the rest of my water. Okay, just like that. Maybe I'll add a little bit more yellow right here. And then I also went across all these lines with just a little bit more yellow. Just like this. Okay, now for the difference here is there's some yellow down around here where the sun might be hitting the snake. So I'm going to go ahead with my yellow, and I'm only going to take a tiny bit of yellow, not a lot, and just kind of put a little bit of stripe lines, and then I'm going to take some water and kind of blend that in. And that just gives your snake a little bit more color. It makes everything kind of blend more together. So there's some yellow up in the snake and not just on the belly. But we can keep doing that, just places where the sun might hit. So it's not going to hit down in here, but it'll hit on the top. So I'm going to put it here and there, and then the top of here. And then we're going to blend those. Again, you don't want too much water. You don't want to make all of your paint run together, kind of make a brown color. Just a tiny bit of water, tiny bit of paint. Okay. Also, I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on the tongue. Okay. And then I also took some of my orange and kind of the same thing, but this time on the yellow belly, I put a little bit of orange in the shadowy areas and blended that in. Again, just for more color and to make everything kind of blend together better. You can go along these lines with that orange. It's just enough to make a little bit more color. All right, I think I'm all finished with my snake. If you enjoyed doing this art project with me, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see when I release new videos. I would love to make art with you again soon. Most importantly, keep creating. I'll see you next time. Bye.